Alright, what's going on, guys? I got a hell of a match today. This is an incredible match. This narration alone, I'm going to have to use the advanced video upload because this match is longer than 10 minutes and it really deserves this much credit. So on JTV, I'm not sure if you guys keep up with my streams. If you don't, that's fine. If you do, then you know that there's a user that has been quickly rising up in skill level by the name of Lilcaitlyn. And, you know, I would help her out. I'd tell her how to EV. I gave her her set of power items, and, you know, she'd ask, hey, you know, how do you EV, blah, 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 and I'll be like, well, you know, there's normally this normal role for it, or other people would come and say, or there's different ways to do it, and there's different ways you can put it on your team. So, you know, just basically getting her introduced to the game. And this is probably about 2 months ago that she really started, and it wasn't until this match that I realized, shit, she got really good really fast. So we're gonna go ahead and play the match for you back. I'm just gonna go ahead and say right now, she should have won this match. This was definitely, she had this match in the bag, guaranteed, but you're gonna see why she didn't get it, unfortunately. So I lead with Renton, and she leads with Infernape. I'm not sure if it's like live formed or whatever, but I outspeed with Bravebird. I go just for Bravebird just to be, yeah, you know. So I take it out, I get some recoil so I can get in blaze range later, and she brings in Gyarados, and I'm like, there's no way I'm going to stay in and even try Bravebirding it. So I go to Talho expecting a waterfall, but she plays it safe, goes for Earthquake, which is actually a pretty good move. Does about, you know, I can live with that amount of damage. I'll probably end up wish passing it. But she goes for the Dragon Dance, and I use Hidden Power Electric, which is exactly why I have it on there, just for Gyarados scenarios. And it does a respectable amount. I honestly expected it to KO, but it didn't, so you know, that's fine. She switches it out and goes to Torterra, and I'm like, uh-oh. She's probably gonna, I think I predicted that. I haven't watched this match in a while, but I went for the Wish, and I figured, you know, I'd pass it to someone who could take some damage, and I figured, you know, if she wanted to Seed, it wouldn't work. If she wanted to EQ, I could recover the damage back, which I did. Turned out to be a crit, so I recovered all my damage back there. If it turned out to be Woodhammer, you know, I would have done even less. So I go for Seed Flare, and it misses, and she gets a Rock set up and goes to Togekiss. And Seed Flare does not miss on this turn, but it's Togekiss. I learned later in the match that this thing is extremely bulky, bulkier than I expected it to be. So it doesn't even do a sizable amount. So I go for Leech Seed right there, knowing I can live in Air Slash, despite how, despite stab and all that. I can live in Air Slash, so I'll get some health back, and I got Seed set up for the next person to come in. I think I switch in Holland at this, yeah, I do. Okay, I switch in Holland, expecting the Air Slash, and, you know, I'll get a Gilligro set up, but she switches out and goes to her own Shiny Shaymin, which is interesting, and then she switches out here and goes to a Suicune, and this is where things go downhill. Because this team is not designed to handle bulky waters in any way whatsoever. So I switch out going to Talho, and she goes for the sub right off the bat, and I was like, oh, shit, they do that. And she sets up her Calm Minds, and I should have gone right into Shaymin at this point, and I was like, oh god, this is game, this is game, this is game at this point. I've lost completely. And so I go into Starmie, and I try to do damage, and T-Bolt doesn't even break the sub, and she's got her third Calm Mind under her belt. So T-Bolt breaks the sub after 2, and she gets a 4th win, and so she's +4, +4. That is not something I really want to be handling. And look at how much T-Bolt does. That's a Life Orb T-Bolt after 4. And it's just a disgusting scenario. I lost to one of the major weaknesses that this team has, and I really didn't expect her to be packing it. So I bring in Shaymin, you know, because I might as well get some hits in just to be feudal, and I'm like, oh, it should stop there. No, you're supposed to stop. What the fuck are you doing? And it gets a crit. And I felt a lot more awful for it than I did happy, because she had that match. She genuinely had that match. And, you know, I took it from her. I took it right out of her hand. She was set up and everything, but now the match has to go on a little bit longer. So I go into Holland, and she goes to Togekiss, switches out. I go right for the Ice Punch right off the bat, just to get some damage. you know, just in case she might have predicted a meteor mash or something. I don't know what she was thinking there, but I go right for the ice punch. It takes it out in one shot. And Gyarados comes into play here. I don't have Thunder Punch, unfortunately, so I have to switch out to Vaporeon. And I was thinking, you know, she'd go for the Waterfall or something again, but she goes right for the Earthquake. Get my Rocks damage, get that. Turns out I'm a little under half. I can live another one and pass off Wish if I need to. What did I do? Yeah, she goes right for Earthquake. I want to say I went for Wish, but I think I went for the hit. Yeah, I went for Wish. I didn't kill it off yet. So I do that, and I think she switches out, expecting me to pass it to something else. So she switches to her Shaman, and I think I stayed in. Yeah, I stayed in knowing I could live another Earthquake. But I go for HP Electric. It was a good call on her part, and I get my Wish. Does nothing to Shaman, just like my Seed Flare did nothing to her Togekiss. I know I've seen the Shaman before. This is her sub-seeding one. So I figure, you know, I don't want to stay in here to get seeded. So I go to my own shiny Shaman. Not very often you're going to see two legit shiny Shamans on the field, so take advantage, you know. And she gets her sub up, and I'm timid, and I have 30 in speed, so I go right for the HP Fire. And breaks the sub. I think yeah, with a useless crit. She goes for Seed Flare here. It does not do anything whatsoever. Seed Flare versus your own species is not going to do much. And I think if it ends up with that same damage again, I can live another one. But I go for Leech Seed expecting the switch to like Togekiss or Gyarados or something to take I think I was expecting Gyarados for the HP Fire. But she goes with Healing Wish, which she's one of the only people I've seen using it aside from people like, I think I saw Xenon get away with it on a Mesprit or something once. But anyway, she goes to that thing and has all of its health back. Fortunately, I still have Vaporeon, but this is still not a scenario I want to be in, especially after the Suicune. Water types lately are giving me so many nightmares with this team, and I'm not comfortable with it. She goes right for the Earthquake, you know, just in case she was thinking I would go to Vaporeon again. But no, I stay in, and I figure, you know, I'll go for Seed Flare, and I miss again, which I think is my second or third miss in this match. She goes for the Ice Fang, takes me out, and the only really solid counter I have for this thing left is Vaporeon. And I guess I still had Blaziken left. So I come in, I use Stone Edge. The thing that's special about this is I can KO if I come in on Gyarados. But if Gyarados comes in on me, I can never KO. Unless I have Rocks up, which this team does not set up Rocks, this team does not have phases. It's a very, very basic, just all-out attacking team. So I go for Stone Edge here, expecting it to KO, and this is the point where I learned that this Togekiss is going to give me a lot of trouble, because it's extremely bulky. Now right here, what I should have done is I should have just gone right for another Stone Edge, and that would have been, you know, game set, and I wouldn't have had to go through what I went through right now. But, you know, I switch out, expecting the Air Slash. And I come in, I figure, you know, I'm an agility so I can be faster than it. If she tries to T-Wave, I have Lumberry. I haven't seen T-Wave on it at all. I've seen is Roost, Air Slash, and Aura Sphere. I don't think it has Flamethrower. Otherwise, she would have used it probably now or something like that. But she goes for Aura Sphere instead. Anyway, backtracking, I use Ice Punch, does about half. You know she can very easily roost off the rest of that damage, and she's gonna live another Ice Punch. So I go for Meteor Mash, just in case it does more damage, and maybe I can get an attack raise, you know. But it misses. I had really bad, and I missed again right here. I missed twice in a row. I missed twice with Seed Flare. So I've had some very unfortunate hacks, which I thought, you know, in itself, kind of karmically paid me back for the crit I got on Suicune. But I don't know. 4 misses in one match is just disgusting any way you look at it. So I bring in Scizor, and here was the point where I probably would have figured out if she had a Flamethrower or not. She didn't, because she went right for Aura Sphere. So I went for Bullet Punch, did about half. And right here I was thinking I could live barely, you know, and I could get away with the superpower, and that would have dented it nicely. But she got a crit right there too, so the hacks late game was getting really ugly. And so I go back into Blaziken, and I think, you know, it had a little bit less damage on it than last time. So a nice 225 power superpower coming off of a 31 attack Blaziken is going to take it out. It doesn't. You know, I was thinking, shit, you know, I was gonna play it safe with that rather than go for a Stone Edge and have it miss, you know, because with the luck I've been having so far in this match, I wanted a sure hit. And so it's one-on-one Vaporeon versus Togekiss, and I know she can stall the living shit out of me, and she'll end up winning this Stall Roar. So I said, hey, you know, after this next turn, after this next one, let's both run. She was like, okay, and she hit run now, I think. She hit run now. I meant for her to do it on the next turn. And that way it would have at least ended in a draw, because I was doing this battle live, and, you know, I really didn't want to put my users through a Stall War. But she ran on that turn, she lost. She should have won. I'm so sorry, but, you know, if I'm doing a narration this long for you, it means I'm really proud of how far you've come along in your skills, you know. I'll plug her channel in the description as well. She's starting out, so she's not necessarily going to have the most conventional strategies, but hey, you know, they work. They worked against me. They worked against everyone else on the channel at one point or another. She really is a great battler. So, and that's it for today. Stay tuned. I started school, so probably going to have matches delayed a little bit more and more as they go, but I'll keep you guys posted. So